Good evening, my friends, or good morning, wherever it is you are in the world today, because we get people from all over the world, don't you know? Right, thank you for joining me on this 26th live stream. God, it's gone quick, hasn't it? 26 live streams. Right, today, for all you newcomers, we've got 1,000 more subscribers to the channel. We're now getting on for 85, which is great. It's your opportunity to ask me whatever you like about guitar playing, any problems that you've got, anything that you can't do. And also today, what I thought would be fun, I've managed to figure out, well, I say me, Lynn, how to actually look at what I'm doing here and watch some YouTube bits at the same time. So if you ask me to play something, or if something you can't work out, then I'll do my best while you're on to see if I can find it on YouTube and at least give you a pointer as to what it is. Even if I don't know it, that's the whole point, you see. Even if I don't know it, I'll show you how I'm trying to listen to it and get my head around what's going on. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Right, so it's the 26th live stream. Anything you're struggling with, I'll say bar chord, finger picking, keeping a steady rhythm, all that sort of stuff, choosing songs that suit you. I also mentioned last time we did a live stream about any of you out there that use that I've never done it, I wouldn't know how to first thing about it. You know, that Sumo AI software that people use for songwriting. You know, what's it like? Is it any good? You know, what I do know is that your copyright is safe. You don't have any problems with copyright on it, which is interesting. Somebody did one of my songs from Puncture the Moon, and they said, can I use the lyric to show you what it does? I said, yes. So they took the lyric and they put it in Suno and made what was like a country type track into a pop thing. And I got to be honest, it sounded great. You know, it sounded great. And he came in and said, I've written this song. Could you go in the studio and make this sound as good as this? I said, well, you know, for about 20 grand, yeah. You know, but the thing about it is, it's great if you. I would never use it because I like writing my own stuff. That's for me. That's the whole fun of it. But let me know what you think. Okay, it's a great little bit of fun. You know, let me know what you think. Copyright, we can talk about that. If anyone's got any interested in the business side of the industry, ask me questions about that. Because I've been around the block more times than I could possibly want to mention. All right, the super chat questions will be answered first because I can see them because they're big. And B, the people who donate to the channel, buying me, I say me and Lynn, and all my students, biscuits and tea. Now, before we go any further, you heard me talking about this biscuit fund, and you probably think I'm just making it up. Well, guess what? There you go. I am not. All right. Everyone who comes to me for lessons, this is for the, you know, I have to replenish this about once every couple of weeks. You know, in fact, sometimes there's one particular gentleman, you know, but an 80-year-old chap, good friend of mine. Whenever he leaves, it's down here. So if you're watching, Michael, you know who I'm talking with. So thank you for the biscuit and tea fund. It is well used. Andy's on, a couple of good mates of mine. Deb's on, Steve, Uncle Steve, Mr. Ward. And they'll know about the biscuit jar. So what else have we got? Right, last month we did a few. I only did 4. I've been dead busy. I've been in the studio with my son Sam because he's working on his new book and an audio book, and of course the audio book has an album attached to it as well. The last one we did, it made the iTunes top 50 in America. First time it's ever happened for a book. You know, in fact they contacted us and said you've misrepresented what the thing is with the, you know, this. You're saying it's for a book. I said, well, it is. They said, well, it's never been done before. I said, we know. We're original. Come on, get with the program. So they congratulated us and said, well, you're the first to ever do it. So there we are. Anyway, the next one we're working on now, and we were in the studio over the last couple of weeks doing all that. Hence, not as many tutorials. But I have been working on loads. So all those people that help keep these things going through Patreon. I've got about 7 or 8 I've got in the pipeline I'm working on. Okay, some of which I'll show you about in a minute. There's one in particular that I need some guidance on from you as to whether or not to do it. A lady called Deb Porter will know the one I'm referring to. I'm like this over it. I'm going to get slated by some of my muso mates, I know, but other people might enjoy it, you know. But I'll show you what that is in a minute. So what did we do last time? We did, while you're getting your questions ready, get them in now, Lindsay, to sort of pick out the main ones. While you're getting your questions ready, I'll have a quick review on what we did last month. Well, which guitar? Use this one. Mind your head, Lynn. Got oh, lovely Lynn next to me here, scribbling away.
I've seen you crawling around the back.
Have you been crawling? Yeah. If you see her, if you just fucking hell, Lynn. Yeah.
They know me, apparently. Yeah. So I don't need to crawl.
Lynn, it's like a small rodent.
Oh,
no, in a nice one. Nice rodent. All rodents are nice.
Friendly.
They're not all like, you know, they're not all. Well, I think all fairly animals are nice. You know.
Backtracking.
Scurrying. So we did That's Entertainment. That's an important one. A lot of you folks in America don't know who it is, but it's the Jam, a great English band that shot to fame in the late 70s, 80s. Paul Weller's a great songwriter, but he did a song, one of his, it was an album track called That's Entertainment, and it was sort of what was important about that particular song, the reason I wanted to do it, is because it's all about getting that little. Okay, so That's Entertainment we did. Have a look at that one if you're interested in trying to improve your strumming. Okay. Then I did another one. Loads of people. I look at all these. I look at all the Facebook guitar channels that you see on there. Some of them are really good, and nearly all, you'll know yourself if you follow them as well, they're all going on about, you know, how many scales do we need to know, how much theory do I need to know, is it Now for me personally, you know, of the 50 odd years I've been in the business continuously, theory has never really been a big thing, because guitar players tend, I think you've heard me talking about this before, guitar players tend not to know much theory at all. They sort of know what we know what we're doing, but it's limited the theory we know. Piano players generally learn, that's the way they learn to play piano. Classical guitar players know a lot more theory. In fact, they have to learn theory to be able to study the greats, the great composers and all that sort of stuff. But most pop rock musicians, particularly those who write themselves, and all the ones you'll know them because they're famous, and they're famous because they write all their own stuff. They make up their own solos. They're not interested so much. You know, people like Dave Gilmour, you'll have heard of him saying he doesn't really know any scales, and then he qualified by saying, well, clearly I do, but I wouldn't know what the names of them are. I just play the notes I like, and when I'm working on them, if I get a wrong one, I'll move it a bit to the left or the right, and if it's not wrong anymore. And that's the way we tend to write. And as I say, personally, I only play the guitar because I like writing music with it. You know, I don't think of myself in my head as a guitar player. I think of myself as somebody who writes stuff, whether it's plays, musical plays, or albums, or whatever it is. In this recent case, you know, the music to an audio book, you know, and that type of thing. But you know, how much theory do you really need to know? We'll look at that, and I'll tell you what theory I think you definitely need to know, which, believe you me, is not much. We did, what was the other one we did? Wild Horses by the Stones. That was a good one. Reminds me of the Everly Brothers. When I feel downhearted, when I'm feeling blue. Do you remember that one, Lynn?
I do.
Always It's You, I think. Great song. Well, I'm sure they must have whisked it from that. But again, you can't copyright chord progressions, you see. This is the thing. And what was the other one I did? I did a simple blues progression. Where's my other guitar? Bear with me. I use this one. This funky little beast. It's great, this. It's dead hard to hold because it's like pear-shaped. But the nice thing about this, for those people who've never seen one, it's called a Vox Apache. You'll have seen the old guys playing these Vox guitars. You know, Brian Jones from the Stones, and you know, people like that, and the guys from New Order. They used to use a lot of Vox. But this one was quite unique because it's got like a little speaker system built in. Now you can plug it into an amp as well, but if you're at a party or something, I love doing this, and my brother Al, who's a percussionist, drummer, and we always used to. I said, Al, you know, drummers are on the way out, mate, and he'd say, "You're joking, aren't you? A band is nothing without a great drummer," and I would say, "Au contraire." He's right, of course, but these are great. Actually, these guitars. This one belongs to. I had one. I gave it to my cousin. My nephew. This belongs to a mate of mine. Bought it from a music shop in Crosby in Liverpool. It's a great music shop, actually. I used to do some tuition to some teaching there. It's called Harmonics. So if you live in the Crosby area and you want to buy some stuff, Harmonics is the place to go. They also have a great little music school there as well. You know, check that out. I don't get paid for say that, by the way. I'm just telling you. If you live in that area, go there. So anyway, this is where this guitar came from. So I did a blues thing, which is dead easy. Watch. It's only 2 fingers. Let me tell you a story. There's somebody I know. I met him on the way back from Memphis, coming back from New Mexico. Just sing any old crap over the top, it doesn't matter. That's all it is. I'm going to get stick that saying it's nowhere near Memphis. Anyway, it's great though, this. Different beats. Let's get a clean sound. Great, isn't it? What else has it got? What's that off? Oh, no, it's not.
PP.
Pink Panther. You're going to have great fun with this. So we did a blues thing on it. I got carried away there first, sorry. So we did that one. Let me just turn it off. So there we are. That's what we did. If you've got any questions on music, this music theory, how much you need to know, now's your chance. Right, let's start looking at some of these questions, shall we? I'm going to start with the ones that are highlighted in big, colourful things, because I can see. Oh, Lynn's done them. Well done, mate.
So there's those 2 that we.
All right. So first of all, Andy C, who jumped in there very early today. Andy. Now, Andy was asking about a great song, Rory Gallagher, wonderful guitar player, but sadly no longer with us, Rory Gallagher. And he did a track called I Was on the Western Plain. Now, I don't know the piece, but I did check out Andy before we started on the broadcasting. It's in Dad Gad, but what I'm going to do, Andy, I'm actually going to learn this, and I'm going to put it up as a lesson. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'm going to do it because I listened to the piece when I was downstairs before we started to check it out, and it is great. So. And it's not as difficult. When you use open tuning, it basically reduces the amount of work you have to do with your left hand. Because of course Dadgad is an open tuning, which means you haven't got to hold a chord down. The chord's already made for you. Open tune is what it's all about. So it gives you more freedom to do all this stuff, and it can sound really complicated and really busy, but in actual fact it isn't. So you can do a lot more stuff. So I'll have a go at that. So thank you very much for the donation to the Biscuit Fund, and as you can see, it doesn't go to waste. What else have we got? So we've got, I want to thank Tim from String Theory Guitar Studio. Now Tim asked where I get the backing tracks from, when you hear me bleating on about doing scales. Now I've managed, I think, I'm going to look at the Lynn's pointing here. If I cock it up, Lynn, jump in quick.
Okay.
I'm going to go onto YouTube, Tim, and this is all I do, and I'll go through the motion. So think of a key. Think of a key of a. Say you're working on a scale, and you weren't sure, should we say B minor, for example, or should we say A minor? So I'll put, I'm in YouTube now, and I'm going to put B minor, BM, backing track. It's all I'm going to do. So here we go. Now you might hear a couple of adverts coming on here, folks. Now I'm looking down a list of them, and I'm seeing a blue Telecaster. It says rock pop backing track B minor. Should we have a listen to that one? I'll play it. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go. We've got some woman here.
With long-lasting battery life on the Dell PC, you can keep going
Skip.
for more.
Right, so that's B minor. So it's in a minor, so I'm going to use my first finger on the B note. And so on. Now that's the Aeolian scale. Remember me talking about the only scale you really need to know. And I can play the B minor scale here. Okay. Now when you see me going up there, I'm just playing that same note, but in a different place. Okay? So to answer your question, well, how do I turn this bugger off? Well, hold on. Hold on, no, hold on. Gotta move it, yeah. Okay, there we are. Right, so all I'm doing there, Tim, is I'm, sorry, Lynn's here. Just changing the, there we are. I'm just going on to put in, I just put in the B minor, BM backing track, and I get hundreds of them. So when you see me using them on, you know, when I'm demonstrating stuff, I'm literally just doing what I've just done. Then I didn't know it was going to be that one. And there's hundreds of them. But the good thing about it is when you play exactly the same scale, then you'll be amazed on you know, on how it fits with all those different things. And remember the rule, my little rule, it is my little rule, the Fennah rule. If you're playing, I know this is basic stuff, but this is all you need to know. This is what the greats know. This is the sort of theory that they know. What key is it in? B minor, first finger. You think of that as your minor finger. Put it on the B note, and then do your scale. If it's in B major, put your little finger on the B note, and then just work everything the other way. Major. Minor. Alright, we've discussed that. Look at my video, the only scale you really need to know, and it'll blow your mind, it really will, because, and that's all these guys know. You know, you listen to Brian May, that's beautiful solo we did in Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, it's a perfect example of the Aeolian scale, the solo in Stairways to Heaven. You know, and all the Aeolian scale is a fancy name for just a few more notes to the blues, to the pentatonic. It's just a pentatonic with a few more notes. Have a look at that. We're going to have a look at a few more theory things in a minute. Let's get back to some of these questions. So we've done Tim.
Yeah, so Deb.
Thanks, Deb, for the donation for the biscuit thing.
Bob's on, as in Bob.
Oh, Bobby's on. Our Bob.
And Andy Greenwell.
No, but yeah, Bobby. Bobby's one of my younger students. Great guitar player. Great guitar player. You know, well, he's bound to be in it because he comes to me. No, he is. He's really got it. He's going to be better than me soon. And that's going to annoy me. Well, actually it won't, because I'm in a no-lose situation, you see. Because when these youngsters finally are able to wipe the floor with me on the guitar, all my students, then I'm going to win anyway. I'll say, well, yeah, but it's only because I taught you. So, you know what I mean? I can't lose the situation. I've got it all ready to go up here. So let's have a look what else we've got.
So that one just said,
Right.
Andy.
Let's have a look. Notice you've got a bass in the background. Are you going to do some bass bits in there? Yeah, I love playing the bass. A lot of people ask, there's a green one. I have a green bass guitar over there. I don't know whether you can see it. It wasn't green when I got it. In fact, behind me there, see behind my shoulder, you'll see. Oh, there we are. See that green classical guitar? Why are they green? I didn't buy them green. You know, I had to paint them green. And the reason I painted them green is because we want to, when you're using green screen, Anyone that saw that what was the record we did?
Thingy high tide,
Big Moon High Tide. We did. My son directed and filmed a video for it, which was great. Here you are. See that? Where are we? Can you see the glasses? And but the reason you use the green screen is you can then put anything in the background, so you can go through my head and you can see nothing inside it, or the green guitars. You know, it gives you a palette in order to put other stuff on. And I've done the same recently with which I'm going to be putting up on Patreon. So thank you for your patience, you Patreon people. We recorded Felicity's theme, a classical guitar piece I did recently in a deserted swimming pool, which some of you may have seen. It's in the. I'll put it up on both Patreon and YouTube. But all the rehearsals that we did, we were thinking of doing some green screen on that, so you'll see me in the studio playing it while we were rehearsing the piece with the green guitar. So we may actually still use some bits to do with that, but that's going to be going up soon. Taking an idea, working your way through it to the final thing. So we've done that. Where are we? Let's have another look at what we've got. I can't read your writing, and I struggle with strumming patterns. Hitting the strings too hard, missing them. Any tips? This is off Rory. What it is with strumming, if I'm, I'm a left-handed person, but I play right-handed, and if I was to try and strum with my left hand like this, it feels really weird and uncomfortable. And even though in my head I know what I'm telling this hand to do, it won't do it. And I know what it's supposed to do. When you first play, you don't even know that. Because the plex, you seem to be pressing it too hard or not hard enough. Now I always use a 0.73 gauge plec, which is, it's not too hard, it's not too, it's like the porridge in, is it the Three Bears? For all you older people who might still remember those things, they haven't yet been banned, I don't think. But with when I do it with this hand, when you're practicing, just a nice steady sweep. Use this part of your arm. Where are we? Bloody video. Every time, everything's the wrong way around. See, my elbow is pinned there. Use that as like a fulcrum. That's a great word, that fulcrum. Pivot. Last time I used the word fulcrum was in physics. It was. But that's what you do. And it's like a pendulum. If you think about it, it's like a ticking clock. And even when you're watching TV, you can still just practice. Your two main strums, what are they? There's a straight rhythm, which is quite an urgent rhythm. What time does the pub shut? Come on, we've only got 5 minutes. And then you've got the other strum, which is like, your shuffle or swing rhythm, which is more laid back. Calm down. Plenty of time. Okay, so there's straight. She's my woman of gold and she's not very old. That's just sort of, it's great, isn't it? Cool. What else have we got? We got Craig. Thank you, Craig. That's going to really keep the biscuit barrel going for a while. For tea, coffee, and donuts. There we go. Will you stop? Will you please stop pointing? Lynn's pointing. How often do you go back and practice the basics, finger drill? All the time. All the time.
So they stay fresh. And
the reason I do it is because I'm teaching all the time. It's by default. I'm doing it all the time. I mean, even before you came on today, I do little exercises because I'm getting old. Like. Or things like that, or the little staircase one, Ow, 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 ow. And it hurts the more you do it. But if you don't do it, you cock things up. I mean, one of my mates was a gentleman called Craig Johnson. Clever man, clever guy. He invented the Predator football boot. Well, he was one of my students. And I remember going round to his house when he was making that boot, and he was sticking bits of car tyre on this. I said, "What are you doing, Craig?" Onto the side of his boot. And he goes, "I'm inventing a football boot. It's going to sell millions, you know." And I was sort of quietly giggling to myself watching him glue this tyre on it. Anyway, it did go on to sell millions. But he used to say to me, because he never really rated himself, he always say, "You know what?" He goes, "Glenn Hoddle is a natural footballer, you know." He goes, I don't really think I am. He goes, "I'm a good athlete." He goes, and you know, it's sometimes it annoys me when you get a lot of fans or people, they say, you know, you go on they watch the match and they get, I mean, we all know they get paid a lot of money. He goes, but what they don't see is every day we're on the training field, you know, in all weathers, just going over the rudimentary skills, you know, similar to what you've just asked about, you know, practicing. And we all have to do it, because if we don't go over those basic skills all the time, when we do our gig on Saturday or a football match or whatever it is, we cock it up. You saw recently with Arsenal, the poor lad, all he had to do was get the penalty and he skied it over the bloody bar. You know, simple, one little tiny mistake on a rudimentary skill, and you've had it. You know, so it's really important that you just do it all the time. And as I say, because I'm teaching all the time, and I'm teaching all sorts of different styles of music, and also at different levels, I'm always going back to the basics, and it really helps me as a player. You know, it really does. So. So what I would do now, just before I leave that one, because Craig was kind enough to donate 20 quid. Well, Craig, let me draw your attention to this. Let me find it in here. Where are we? Come on, Rob. These are the things that I always work on, and these are the things that you will come across in any, whatever it is you're going to do. Even if you're going to do that Rory Gallagher thing, you'll notice this is what I've called it back to basics year one. Now that doesn't mean that you need to know all this in year one. It's just giving you an idea of an overview of the type of things that you should be looking at. You know, you won't master them in 1 year, but you should be looking at all these things. Let's have a quick look, shall we, see what I'm talking about. And this is mainly for Craig. So, chord progressions. Now, chord progressions are massively important, especially for you people out there that want to write songs. So, for example, with this chord progression here, I could write a whole career based on G, E minor, A minor, and D7th, you know. G, E minor, A minor. Mama just killed a man, E minor, put a gun against his head, pull my trigger, now he's dead. It's Christmas. Last Christmas gave you my heart, but the very next day gave it away. A minor. This year, to save you from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Blue moon, saw you standing alone, and so on. I mean, I'm playing G, E minor, A minor, and D7. That's the first progression I tend to generally show people. And similarly with all the others. The next one is D, G, and A. Where's my plectrum gone? D, G, and A, you know. D, G, and A with the same chords as Twist and Shout or La Bamba. You've got this guitar's out of tune. Okay, A, D, and E. A, D, and E, A and B7th. You know, that's what I did on that blues thing. E, A, B7, you know, they're important. Okay, same with so I gave a couple of sheets of the main of your main chords, you know, chord progressions. Now with those chord progressions, I mean, Bob Dylan made a career out of just 2 of them. And don't forget with chord progressions, you don't, you don't. They're just like the foundation to your song. You can use those chord combinations, swap them around a bit if you want to, but you don't have to. And all that you do then as a songwriter is you write a tune over the top with words to it. That's the song. The chord structure is not. They're not. You can't copyright those. Okay. So if you were to download those, they're the sequences I think are the most important. They're the ones that you come across all the time. From there, we went on to strumming patterns. There we go. Strumming patterns, different strumming. Now there's only two main styles of strumming. There's a straight rhythm and there's a shuffle rhythm. The straight one we talked about before. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the shuffle rhythm, which is more laid back. Now if you look at this, if you reach down, just check this one out because I did it the other week. It's called the How Much Theory Do You Really Need to Know? I think I called it, whatever. Have a look at this one. See these? Now you'll notice that even the arrows that are hatched out in red, the hand never stops moving. So for example, if I'm playing pattern 1, okay, that's just straight down up, and then there's pattern 2. Well, it sounds completely different, but my hand's still moving. I'm just not striking all the beats. Down, down. See, I'm missing some. But my hand, if I do another one, again my hand's always moving. Okay, I'm just playing different combinations of those with that. Reggae. And country. What is it? Oh. General. But with those strumming patterns, you got a career. Okay. And then we went on to what was called a single note. This is for a bit of plec control. I remember my dad taught me this years ago when I first started learning how to play. And he'd be playing this, and I'd be doing the chords or vice versa. And it was a generic bass line that's been used in millions of songs. I've called it a boogie bass line, and I did a tab thing for it. Again, it's all here. Have a look at it. Go check it out. And this is. I'm doing these for Craig, by the way.
Craig said thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. So that's it. If you donated a biscuit jar, things happen. All right. I've got donuts and all. Okay, so the boogie bass line was this. Nice and simple, which you'll have heard. And then from that you had other riffs like, which were derived from that. Just different permutations of the same notes, more or less. And so on, all right? All derived from that boogie bass line. Learn how to play that, you will then know how to play all the others. And all these rock riffs, where do you think they come from? Finger picking. Now the first thing to do with finger picking is don't go steaming in there trying to play something complicated. That's the worst thing to do. Remember, when you listen to a performer, someone like me, you're watching lots of layers of information all coming together at the same time. All right? So the first thing to do is to get your fingers to know what string they live on. Let's have a quick look at that, shall we? It's good. It's worth doing this one. This is really important. So say I'll just stick with D. And what I've done on this is I've just simplified the chords to just 4-string inversion because I'm interested only in the right hand. Not interested in this hand so much now, just the right hand. So if I play D, and with my thumb I'm going to play the bass note on the 4th string. I'm not going to worry about these yet. And the idea is to train these fingers to which string they live on, because they'll always live on the same string. This one, First finger lives on the third string, this one lives on the second, and this one on the first, and they will always play those notes. Occasionally they'll come up and do that, but more often than not they will play these two strings while your thumb looks after the bass notes. So this pattern I've got here is this, and you'll recognise it straight away when I play it. When you walk, there's that, oh my love, there's thousands of songs. A bit high that one there. So let's do it. So I've got the D, that's the one then. So D. I'm going to just play the first string on the G. Now already that sounds, what was that REM song? That's all they needed to write a hit song, for God's sake. You know, I've put two more in at the moment. We've got an E minor, which I'm not bothering doing it like that. I'm just concentrating on the fourth string. Not interested in. And then to an A. Definitely sounds REM, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got D twice.
Yeah.
Just using the fourth string as the bass note. E minor, simplified version. A. And once we've done that, was it okay? That was good. We'll play exactly the same chords, but this time we'll use the full chords and we'll change the root note, the bass note, depending on what chord we're playing. So if I'm playing D, here I'll use the fourth string as I did before. But when I go to G this time, I'll play the G bass note at the top up here. When I go to E minor, I'll play the sixth string again, and then the A, I'll play the fifth string. All right. So if I did it again. Bass. Okay, so then we've done that. Then we'll say, well, now that we've got that going, let's alternate the bass. So as in, you know, instead of using the same one twice, let's if I've got a bass string above it, I'll use that one. So see the way I went from the 4 to the 5 because they had a free string. Then on the G, well, there's my root note. Now I don't have one above it, so I'll use the one below it to start here, bounce to there. And then same with the E minor. E, bounce to there. A, there's your root note, bounce to 6. And do the same with others. Sorry. By doing that, you're just learning as to where your fingers live.
Everybody hurts.
That's it, everybody hurts.
Yeah.
Finger picking.
Wow.
Then we looked at Travis picking. Now Travis picking is the main one. This is the sort of thing that Rory Gallagher was using with the dad tuning. Okay, and the way I start off with this, you know, if you look at this, again you've got your 4 chords. All this is on all my lessons. Go and have a look at all this. You know, in fact, one of my most popular videos is about Travis picking. Go and check it out. Now with this one, I'm just going to play 5, 2, 4, 3. Okay, 5. I've got my A minor, so I'm going to start on the 5, and I don't want to do that twice. I could do, but because I've got a string above it, the second time round in the sequence, I'll go to the 6. And there's our bass guitar. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm going to go to a C. Now you notice the way I come off on the 3rd string all the time at the end of a sequence. Most players, all of us, nearly all of us, bring our fingers off and play an open 3rd. It's just the nature of the beast. When we play a C, that's your C chord as normal. But we want to alternate to a bass up here, and E is not the note we want. We want to play a G, so we'll play our C like this, as in the boxer. On E minor, I'll start with the 6 and bounce to the 5. See the way it came off on the 3, and then on the G, again, 6, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. And I'm using the same chords just to get, etc. There we are, so we did that one. Then we looked at bar chords. Now before you start even thinking about bar chords, you need to know what the inversions are down here. Okay, like E major. Because the two main bar chords that we use are based around the E and A shape. E, see that? E minor, E 7th, E minor 7th, and E major 7th. Alright? And same with the A major, A minor, A 7th, A minor 7th, A major 7th. Remember the 5 faces of chords we had? Major's a happy chord, minor's a sad chord, 7th's a bit of a sneaky chord. I know what you're up to. A minor 7th, it's a bit of a, not sure what's going on. But the major 7th is the sort of, the sort of people that you see sometimes walking down the street, don't know what day it is. They're like they haven't got a care in the world, a little bit of dribble usually. That's how I remember them. So when you've learned how to play them like that, you can then substitute these other fingers, and then all the bar chord is, always remember, are these simple shapes moved up the neck. But we can't move them up the neck like this as we would do there, because we need to take this with us. So we substitute these 3 fingers. We keep our first finger free, and then this E major becomes F major, becomes F sharp major, G major, and so on with the other inversions of that particular shape. So this would be G major, G minor, G 7th, G minor 7th, and G major 7th. Alright, the same with the other shape. Now the important thing when you do that is to know what as I'm moving up and down the neck, to know what those 2 strings are called. Okay, this is to do with the theory that you need to know. So we need to know what the E string notes are called, and the ones on the A string. Now the E strings are pretty easy because we know that's E, and we normally know that's F because it's bloody hard to play. The 3 dots, the first 3 dots you'll come across, G, A, B. I always have a little rhyme because the alphabet doesn't run. And I just say girls and boys, girls and boys. If we know that's G, we know the one behind it's G flat, because flat means lower. If it's in front, it's sharp, it means higher. That's all it means, G sharp. So if I want to play a G, somebody says G sharp, I'll think sharp means higher. If they say G flat, I know it means lower. Sometimes people will say A flat. Somebody else will say G sharp, and I'll think, oh, it's the same thing. Why is it called G sharp or A flat? It's got something to do with the key of the song. My thing is, I don't know and I don't care. I just, as long as I know where it is. And the same with the 5th, anything on the 5th string. A sharp, B, C, and so on. I'm sorry to whiz through it, but when somebody's donated healthily to the biscuit fund, it deserves that little bit more attention to detail. Oh, good. So we got so there's our E and A bar chord shapes, and I've demonstrated again with other little diagrams there to show you exactly what you're doing. And then we've got our Aeolian scale, the one I showed you before when we were demonstrating the with the B minor. So this is here, and I'm explaining that, say you let's say we're playing the pentatonic for a minute. And we're going to play an A minor. There's our A note there. Whatever the furthest note is in the pentatonic, it's the major scale of that note, which is C, and it's the minor note of that. And so in effect, if you think, well, if I think of that as my minor finger and this is my major finger, and I'm in A minor, but I want to play an A major, but I don't really want to learn a whole new pattern of notes, I'll just take that finger there, move everything down. Major. Okay. Same with the Aeolian scale, which is just an extension. Alright, worth doing. Again, all the lessons to do that are there. So that's the theory you need to know. And just keep working on that, and you can make a good career by just mastering a couple of those things, But if you're in a band, it's important that you know. I nearly got kicked out of my first band. I was about 14, because although I knew how to play, I couldn't remember the bar. I didn't know the neck. I knew how to play everything, but but I didn't know. Olive, can you put that over there for me? I didn't know B flat. I'd be going, you know, and that's how I developed that thing, you know, with the girls and boys. Somebody said B flat. Now I said, well, no B's there. That's B flat. I've got it. I know what to do now. Right. Sorry. So anyway, thanks again to Craig. Thank you, Craig. So what else have we got?
Here.
Right. We got Jay. Should acoustic guitars be set up well? Well, yeah. I take my guitars to, which reminds me, I want to show you something. I take my guitars to a place at Birkenhead called KGB. Again, I'm not getting paid to mention these lads. I just do it because they're great and they do a fantastic job. I've just had my old Telecaster done. Picked it up the other day. I've had this since I was 15. There we go. 1971 it is. I think I got it in 74, but it was built in 71. Right, but I was having trouble with the intonation because I play it all the time, and they set it up for me brilliantly as they always do. And I said to them, my favourite guitar is one that was gifted to me years ago in 1981 by a gentleman called Dave Carruthers, who ended up managing me. Lovely man. Again, sadly, no longer with us, but he gave me this guitar. Well, what happened is, my guitar was all right, but it wasn't as good as his. And he was one of my students, and he said, "Look, why don't you borrow mine to do the gigs with, Rob?" You know. So he lent me this, which he never got back, because you know he was happy for me to use it, and I literally played it, as you can see, to death. And every record I ever made with alternative radio was made on this: The Valley of Evergreen, Concertina Ballerina. All those songs that are now getting millions of views on iTunes and all, what is it? Spotify. What is this? And all, they were all played and written on this. So I took it into the lads at KGB a couple of years ago, and they said, well, it'll cost a few quid. But I mentioned it the other day, and they said, well, bring it in. They said the top damage is what is cracked, which you can see. This is myth, and all the electronics I've still got. But what happens with these Ovations? This is like a carbon fibre thing. It tended to peel away from the wooden thing. But as I say, I used it for years and years and years. Nearly all those early photographs is with this. So I'm going to get this one fixed. It's going to cost a fortune. I haven't told Lynn yet.
For yourself?
I think it's an Ovation Folklore. Yeah. So if I want to buy, I could buy another one, but I want that one. You know, it's sentimental. I want to do it for Dave. Yeah. So what else have we got? Do you do anything by Jethro Tull?
And also
struggling with what?
muting.
Why are you struggling with muting? All right, let's have a look at muting.
And do you do anything by Jethro Tull?
I haven't done anything. Jethro Tull's great, by the way. I haven't done anything by him. The flautist. What impresses me the most is how he can stand on one leg for so long. I fall over just trying to put my socks on. Right, so muting. All you do when you're muting, see the bridge? Bridge. This part of your hand here, just rest it there on the bridge. Okay, if it's too far forward, bring it back. Okay? And I used this when I was doing that blues thing. See, there was a different dynamic. So on the E, for example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Coming down hard from the 5th string, releasing the strings onto the bass string, 3rd fret, little bend. And you put a little upstroke in there if you want. Partial B7s. Again, going back to those chord progressions, all I'm doing, E, A, and B7. Then once you get the hang of it, put all sorts of other little riffs. So, mute. There we are, mute. Same with. Just work on it, practice to those backing tracks. Right, what else have we got?
Just a couple of quick things.
Did you ever do anything by Paul
Brady.
Brady? No, I don't think I've heard of Paul Brady. Probably have. Enlighten me. You know. Thanks, Dave, for the $5 for the fund. Oh, Martin McGrath has said, "Love your Alan Williams video." Now you out there, you probably don't know who Alan Williams is. Alan Williams was the very first Beatles manager. My brother Al, we knew Al well, and we used to do a lot of music. We had our own little studio in Camel Herds, which was a shipyard at the time. Well, it still is a shipyard, but it wasn't really in operation at the time. My uncle owned it for a while, and we had it was derelict. There's nothing in there, and there's no heating or anything. But we had a little place where we could make a noise and didn't bother anyone. And we used to do a lot of music for TV, Granada Television in particular. And we set about doing some. We thought, well, it'd be a good idea to do some spoken word albums of some of these old people. You know, some of the people in the city that were getting on in years, and they wanted to record their memoirs. You know, not just in a book. Where they'd done that, they wanted to actually put something out. So we knew Al, and we said, well, do you want to tell your story about all the Beatles? And because Alan was the first guy to spot them. You know, the Jacaranda. He owned a club called the Jacaranda in Liverpool, which is still going. And they used to go in there. John and Stuart used to go in there from. They used to be the arts college over the road, and they go in there for bacon sandwiches or bumming sandwiches off him. And he'd say, well, you're not having them for free, go and paint the toilets. So they'd end up painting the toilets. And Stuart Sutcliffe, he painted some murals downstairs, and as with John Lennon, you know, and in return he'd give them some tea and coffee and all that, and they became friends. And he took them once. Alan used to promote other bands, you know, Jerry and the Pacemakers and all that sort of stuff. And he used to go down to a place called the Stadium, which was a boxing stadium. We used to have bands on, and he took them with him once. And he said, "Why don't you get us a gig, Al?" And he didn't know that they were in a group. And he said, "Well, I didn't even know you played." So, you know, he said, "No, we have a little group." So and that's what happened. You know, he got them going, and he was the first guy to he took them over to Hamburg. They got Pete in the band, Pete Best. Oh, no, he's a real gentleman, Pete. His brother wrote, and he took him over to Hamburg, you know. And what happened was, the reason they split up, and of course Alan goes into great detail on this CD. It's free, by the way. Go and have a look. It's called "The Man Who Gave the Beatles Away." And he talks about how he fell out with Paul McCartney because when they were in Hamburg, they got a gig at a bigger club, and Alan was their manager, you know. And he said, well, because we got the gig, we're not paying you the commission, which was a bit naughty. It really was, you know. So they fell out over it, and Alan's famous words were, you know, "I'll make sure you nobody touches you with the barge pole ever again." But he was all in good fun. And I always remember we brought this CD out when the anthology was coming out, the Beatles anthology, and Alan he said, oh, because a lot of people said he was just a booking agent for him, and Alan always insisted he was their manager, you know. And he was worried because we'd done the sleeve notes for the back, and he was worried as to whether or not he'd even get a mention in the anthology, because a lot of people that were associated with him didn't, you know. But not only did he get a mention, he had a big picture. There was a big picture of him, and Paul McCartney. One of the first things he said at the head of it, at the beginning of the whole of the series, was how he was the first manager, very good for them at the time, you know, and it was great, and he was absolutely over the moon, putting to rest, of course, the fact that he was indeed their manager. All right, so that was good. But go and have a listen to it; it's fantastic. We did another one with a gentleman called Tony Barrow, who was the publicist for all Beatle fans out there. All the you know, when the sleeve notes used to get on the back, Hard Day's Night, and those early albums. Well, Tony was their publicist, and he was with them when they met Elvis. So we did a CD of memoirs for him. So I think that might be ligging around somewhere. But go and have a look at it. All right. Right, what else have we got?
Well, some of these are just, you know.
Let's have a look.
It's a long time listener.
Ah, good. So, I've enjoyed your tutorial methods for learning finger picking songs such as Never Gone Back Again and Romeo and Julia. Good, because once you know the little patterns, that's Brian. Thanks, Brian G. You know, once you know how to play those little things, and you've got to get into thing with the likes of people. they have to understand this. And this is why I have to try to explain to my students. If you learn to play classical guitar, when you know, not that I would know, but I know from loads of people who have, then they learn basic rudimentary skills and in order to play in that way, because most classical guitar pieces, you know, all use the same technical skills, and you learn what those skills are, and then you can attack the music and hopefully play it. With people like Mark Knopfler and David Gilmour or Eric Clapton or any of them, they all play differently. They're all, you know, Paul McCartney, for example, he'll play with one finger. John Lennon will maybe use two. You know, Paul Simon might use two. Other players will use three. Others will just scrape. You know, all of them are hugely different. So the first thing you do when you're looking at something, for example, as Brian mentioned, Never Going Back Again. Well, Lindsey Buckingham, he's I think he learned to play banjo, so he does a lot of banjo style playing on his guitar, which can be quite tricky. But once you get into his head, once you know figure out what he's doing and his style, then you can do not just that, but you can learn other things. Like we did Big Love as well, which was a 51, and Mark Knopfler, Romeo and Juliet, beautiful piece of music. Just the music alone, without the song itself, without the actual lyric, it's great, you know. But he plays in a different way, particularly his electric guitar. You've got to get into the head. You can't play like Hank Marvin and then expect to be able to go and play something by Mark Knopfler. It won't work. You've got to learn and look how he does it. We've got this one is off Apple Milk 13. Oh, thanks for the donation. I'm going to have a donut with that one. I've just thank you for everything you've done. I've just got down Stephanie here. Stephanie, you know, of course, yeah, we were just talking about Lindsey Buckingham. Stephanie's a beautiful piece of music, and well, you know, and you've learned how to play it. Brilliant, you know. Go and have a listen to that one, Stephanie. It was written for Stevie Nicks, you know, all those years ago. Bobby, as in Bob, are you gonna post a tutorial for Eyes Without a Face? That was that Eyes Without a Face. Might do, Bob. What key's it in? I can't even remember. I was showing him how to play it the other day. Da da dee da dee. I might do. How many people would know it? You know, this is the thing. I've been working on a track, and I'm into my, I don't know, I'll either get slated for it. I'm going to get slated for it anyway. I'll give you the clue. Because when I was a kid, when we first started playing and doing the cabaret clubs, because we were doing the cabaret clubs in North Wales mainly, when so weekends we'd do all the, you know, working men's clubs and labour clubs and conservative clubs and, you know, just the main cabaret circuit. And whenever we went, we'd be about 15 or 16, and we were all into T-Rex and David Bowie and Genesis and all this stuff. And you know, you'd get the older guys in there. I say older, they're probably only a few years older than us, but they were doing all that, you know, that really early 70s cabaret stuff, like, oh, crystal chandeliers light up the painting. They were doing all that sort of stuff. And one song in particular everybody did was where it began. I can begin to know when, but then I know it's growing strong. It was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Open it out, hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Oh no. When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be. Same chords. So, should I do Sweet Caroline? Now, the reason I'm thinking about doing it is because we've got the World Cup coming up, and it's one of the songs, I don't know why, but all the football crowds start singing it now, so I might do it. But I'm going to look at them with the comments on here and see what you lot think. If they're crap, I won't. So it's up to you folks. Do I do a lesson on Sweet Caroline or don't I? Hey? My credibility, what's left of it, is in your hands. So tell me. Come on, just sit there. You know.
Yeah.
Should we have one of these? Do you want a tangerine? What have we got? Let's have a look.
This one here.
Cheers, Bright. What are we doing? Don McLean's And I Love You. What a beautiful song. Let me just peel my tangerine. While I'm peeling it, I'm using this as a foil to try and remember. Perry Como did it as well, didn't he? And I love you so. Let me think. And I love you so. The people ask me how I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know. Da 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 dee. Da 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 da. Beautiful. And how I lived till the day you took my hand. And yes, I know how lonely life can be. I don't know how I know this. Shadows follow me. See, it's too high. And the night won't set me free. It's not like, was that American? But I won't let this evening get me down. Willie Nelson. Now that you're around me. There you go. That's what you call busking. Busking. And then we got here, who's this one? Didn't see her. From Japan.
Yeah.
Good morning. For my friends in Japan. I haven't been to Japan for 50 years. I want to go back. We had a lot of hits over there. And played some great venues. The Budokan we did. And that was good fun. But I do want to go back.
That Paul Brady thing, good. Marriage Maiden.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, I've heard of that. I'll check it out for you, Paul. Rob.
Yeah. And then.
Going with a tangerine.
You just give me some. Yeah.
I'm just rude this doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lynn made me do it.
Oh, here we go.
Well, yeah. Steve Camp. Cheers, Steve, for the donation. Thanks for everything you share with us. Treat yourself to a packet of hobnobs or two. I will do. I haven't had hobnob for ages. Thing is, see that jar there, the one I showed you before. I try to avoid going into it because if I have one, you know, I'll just have loads. I went down the other day and they was just looking at me, and normally I have them for the students, you know. So I thought, I sod it. So I had one, and then it became two, and then it became three, and it was like, have you ever seen that Father Ted where they have a nun round there to try and stop them from breaking their vows, you know, and they walk in and find her covered in chocolate, having devoured an whole Easter egg. Well, that was like me, you know, no willpower whatsoever. What else? Oh yeah. When playing over backing tracks using your only skill, you need to know how important is being able to play the changes for the chord. You don't. That's the whole point. That's a good question, Greg. People think when you change chord in a chord progression that you have to change the scale. You don't. It fits. It automatically fits. Why does it fit? I don't know. You know, some smart aleck out there will know. But chord progressions are written to fit well together. You know. So all those chord progressions, unless you're playing like modern jazz where they go off piste and all that stuff, you know, Why do you think blues players like Eric Clapton are good at the blues? Because nothing, they just play the same lick over and over again. Of course you're going to get good if you're doing that. You know, same with all of us. You know, we just play the same lick, we learn how to do little things, and then whatever the thing, what key is it in? A minor. G minor. B minor. We just play the same stuff all the time. It just sounds different, and the chords underneath in a progression, they'll automatically fit. Occasionally, if someone's being a smart aleck, they'll throw a wobbler in one in. But for all those backing tracks, you can play the same lick. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm not going to talk. I'll show you. Watch me. Watch this. Where are we? Right. I'm going to play. Shall I play that? I'll play that. This backing track's got B minor, G, D, and A in it. All right. It's in B minor. It's the same one I did before. So I'm going to play. I'm just going to. Where's this? Right. Hold on. Right. Where's me plaque? I'll get it. So there's G. A. I'm just going to do a little lick. G. D. I'm not doing anything. You have another. Let's look at another one. Hang on. This one's in G
Train
minor.
travel just got a whole lot smoother.
Advert.
Wrexham Central and Bidston. Simply tap in and tap out using contactless pay-as-you-go.
Can you?
To learn more about smoother train travel, search
Smoother train travel.
Pay-as-you-go North Wales.
Yeah.
I pick up my tool.
Okay, now how many of these are there?
Gun. Sorry, I'm in action. Sorry, I'm in action. Engineered for action.
It's a pain in the arse, this, isn't it? Never mind. Here we go. So, this is a backing track, a rock pop backing track. G minor, E flat, B flat, and F. So I'm going to do exactly what I just did before. Alright. G, where's G? Tell you. How do I know? Girls. G minor. E flat. B flat. Just playing the same thing over and over again. Let's have a look what else we got. Rock backing track in A minor. Let's try and find something a bit different. What's this? AGO backing. I want something like Midnight Drive. It's called Midnight Drive Blues in D minor. Now I'm playing the Aeolian scale on my 5th string. I can play it up at the minor here. when you see me doing this, like, all I'm doing, I'm taking the pentatonic, and I'm just moving I'm just playing it like this. But it sounds like I'm playing something really classy and jazzy when all I'm doing is I'm playing the same pentatonic notes that everyone plays, and I'm just putting them in that. I'm just finding a different order. I do this a lot. I'll show you what I mean. I play it. See, I'm playing the Aeolian now, so. See the way I just sort of. And don't play too many notes. I'm not. Once I know what key it's in, although to answer that question, I'm just playing the same stuff over and over and over again, and it just fits. It's magic. I don't know why it works. It just does. Is that beer? Mm-hmm. It's not real beer, folks. Now this is what you call a proper glass. None of these weirdy looking. I was going to say something I won't. I'll get into trouble. By the way, this is non-alcoholic beer. I don't drink. When did I stop drinking?
99.
This is good stuff, this.
99.
I don't get paid for these either. Was it 99? You
Last
find as you get older,
century.
you can't recover anymore. I never drank as a kid. But in my sort of 30s, hanging around with journalists and musos. And when you start drinking too much, in the end I thought, sod this for the game of soldiers. So I thought it was getting slower because I was getting older. Even half a lager would slow you down. So I stopped drinking. I've had, it's about 30 odd years nearly now. What? And all my mates are carried on are either dead or wish they were dead. Go on, where are we?
So if you carry on down from here.
I can't hear you.
Carry on down from here.
This one?
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so where are we? Just popping in to say, I love your videos and you're so talented. Well, thank you. Well, it's that very kind-hearted T-Rex is my favourite band and I'm so happy with your videos I've had to play. Mark song. Bowling is the reason I got into pop music. My mate Mark Croxton, good mate of mine. I was into my dad and all that. He used to listen to Joe Byers and all this stuff, and you know, it's great. And the Spinners, you know, was that implacable? Jesus Christ, I keep putting it down. Thank you. Well, you're dirty and sweet, glad and black. Don't look back, and I love you. You're dirty and sweet, oh yeah. Great song. You're so sweet, you're so fine. I want you all and everything just to be mine, 'cause you're my babe. Yes, you're my love. Oh, girl, I'm just a jeepster for your love. I love that song. My favourite one to play though, it's not those two.
I'll show you that.
It's what was that? Who got those for me?
Years ago.
Bongos. My favourite bowling one, and it's unique this to the Fennahs, because nobody does it like this. and it's great because when Mark did it, he used that 3-chord progression I've been bleating on about all night, the E, A, and the B7. I'm doing this. What's the lady? Who is it? Just contacted me before about Mark.
Oh, it was the lady. It was Tim.
Oh, Tim.
It was Tim. Yeah, Tim. Oh no, could be. Oh, Tamara. Sorry.
Riding on out like a bird in the sky. We're riding on out like a Euro bird. Flying on out like an eagle in the sun. We're riding on out like a Euro bird. Chord-wise. That's the basis of the song, alright? 3 chords. And Bolan used those 3 chords to perfection because he wrote some wonderful, wonderful songs. Bolan to me is one of the best lyricists, right, ever. You know, when he was in Tyrannosaurus Rex, you couldn't really understand what he was saying because of the nature of his voice. But when you read his poetry, it's absolutely stunning poetry. He did a book called Warlock of Love. And all those, you look at the lyric on some of those early Tyrannosaurus Rex albums and the T-Rex stuff, it's lyrically stunning. You know, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Real poetry, you know. What else have we got? It always amazes how you remember songs because you know so many chord. No, well, there aren't that many chord progressions. You see, they're all. You know, it's like I've just played that blues thing and the one I've just done. It sounds like they're different chord progressions, but not. They're the same. You just approach them a slightly different way. And of course, the song that's written over the top of them determines. You all listen to the melody, but underneath it all, we're all playing the same thing. That's how we get good because you know we're not. It's the same stuff. What's this one here we're looking at?
I'm not
The
sure.
old,
I was referring to something.
the old version by Ella Fitzgerald. My cousin said that I should learn to do. Which song was that one?
You were talking about the old song.
Oh yeah, the old ones, brilliant. Yeah, they're well written. I do. We're both well. We are. Blue Butterfly. We're fine, thank you. What else have we got? Always love to hear you singing and playing. You're live. What is it? Chords, throwing chords into a solo. Who needs chords, throwing chords into a solo. Rob, what's that one? It's off. Oh, Andy. Hiya, Andy. Hope you're feeling alright, my old mate. Listen, when are you going to come round? I missed you last time. Come round, Andy. Mr. Riley. Good friend. Try the Bavaria one. What's that? I can't hear. The Bavaria brand. Oh, we're talking about beer. We're talking about non-alcoholic beer now. I wasn't alcoholic, by the way. I just decided I'm getting loud thinking here. You know. Joking, aren't you?
Yeah.
I just wanted to keep my youthful Greek-like appearance, godlike appearance in check, you know what I mean? Where are we? Well, I'm just starting to learn Ride a White Swan. Yeah, well, how about if you do, just do remember, think of it in layers, slowly. Don't go whizzing off. Take your time. Right, can you talk about what Chris Book calls truncated chords? I don't know what a truncated chord. What would a truncated chord be? I have no idea.
You know the song Warm Love?
Warm Love, yeah. Well, let's find out, shall we? Are you going to do it then?
No, I can't.
Lynn's here, grovelling round on the floor. What's it called?
Warm Love.
I've never heard of it, so this is Warm Love. Jesus Christ! If anything
Chris Book.
disgusting comes up, Chris,
It's Chris Book by
you know what I mean? You put things up in here now,
Google
and you
surprise.
get all sorts of other stuff.
Just put Chris Book in.
Chris.
B-U-C-K.
Alright, hang on. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've got it here. Oh yeah, so he's playing. Let's have a listen to what the lad's doing. Hold on. Advert. Let's turn that off for a minute. Oh yeah, here we go.
All let doors and dance on the floor. He's painted walls.
Can't see his guitar, I can see his head. Now I can see the drummer. Now I can see his face.
Sweet solitude, yeah.
Right. So what we got there? You got a song. It's in C, B, C sharp minor, B, F sharp minor, A. That's what it is. C sharp minor. Now, if you might say, well, C sharp minor. If I was to transpose that just to keys, you'd know it'd be like A minor, G, F, and C or something. You see, they're all basic things. Nothing nuts. Right. What else have we got? Truncated chord. I don't know what it meant. They're just basic stuff to me. What I've just seen. You can do little fiddly bits around the chord. That's the thing about some. You know, they have flash words and phrases for stuff. That say, oh, do you mean fiddly bits? You know. But again, if we listen to it, we can do it. Have you listened to Paul's new album? No, but I've heard the first track. But I will do. Mr. McCartney. It's great that he's got to #1 again, isn't it? After all these years. But I love Paul McCartney. You know, he's wonderful. I love him. He's enriched so many lives, including mine. So I'm really pleased that he's got a nice new #1. He deserves it. He's a good lad. He's brilliant. What else have we got? And of course, he's from around our way. Where are we? USA, Florida. Rob Fennah, you're a wonderful instructor. Thank you. Wickedly humorous. Do you reckon? It's just the way we talk around our way. I'm blessed to have stumbled on your very first tutorial. Now I'm a Fennah fan. Oh, thank you very much. It's good. Well, listen, the more people who play guitar, the better, because it's all about fun, isn't it? You're gonna have a laugh. There's enough crap going on all over the world. At least if we're playing our guitars, we're keeping out of trouble, aren't we? All right. Right. What time is it?
Yeah, it's one. What's that one?
How about a bit of marmalade?
Reflection.
The only marmalade one I know was Guy the Marmalade Day. So sing that one. It's all about these lyrics now. You can't do them. Anyway, I think that was called Rodancer. Although when I sang it at 16, it was all right. You can't do it, you know. What else have we got? Marmalade, though. They did, I mean, of course, they had the big hit with the Beatles one, didn't they? Obla-dee, obla-da. Which goes back. Sorry, I gotta say. You know that riff we were talking about, the only scale you really need to know. Oh, that's Ballad John Diego, isn't it? What's obla-dee? Din-diddle-din-diddle-din-da. So instead of going, they're not even using all, they're only using a little tiny fragment to make that wonderful dum 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 dum. Okay, another example of it. Right, it's getting late. What time? I don't even know what time it is. It's 10:30. All right, we're going to get off in a minute. I'm teaching tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, Sunday. It's good fun. I've got to get up early and get stuck in. So it's time to love you and leave you. Before we go, are there any more little things before we go? Anyone we've missed out?
Well, I think everybody a lot of people think Sweet Caroline might be a good idea. There's
Do
no
they?
negatives.
Oh, weren't there?
No.
Oh well.
I'm just probably
They're probably doing it on purpose to make me look like a fool.
No.
I like Sweet Caroline. It's a good song. Oh, Alan hates it. My brother hates it. When we were in Portugal in about 1995, he hurt his back and he was laid up in bed in this hotel, and there was a bar next door to it, and he couldn't move to shut the window because he was in that much pain. We'd all gone out, you know, the way you do, and he said, "Don't ever play any of those Neil Diamond songs again," because when he was lying there, hour on hour, the band were playing it, but it must have been a Neil Diamond tribute act, and all it reminds him of is pain in his back. So I think I'll do it just for Al, shall I? That'll be good for a laugh. My dear brother Al, whose birthday. I want to wish my dear brother happy birthday. It's his birthday tomorrow. Al, you know, his birthday. How old is he? How old is he? He's a bit younger than me.
66.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Al. I'm going to do Sweet Caroline for you, my old mate. You'll like that one. Okay, so the next one we're doing is on the 4th of July. The next live stream, 4th of July. I'll do it. Shall I do Sweet Caroline? Shall I do it? I shall tell them now.
think so.
When shall I? What day is it today? Shall I do it on Wednesday? I'll do it on Wednesday. All right, the Wednesday. Now, if I don't get any views and I get laughed at, I'm going to blame you.
You know who's going to like that anyway.
Oh, I'll do it for Deb.
Yeah.
In fact, I sang that one. I said to Deb I'd sing it for her. Well, I have sung it, haven't I?
You did.
It's for the lovely Deb, one of my wonderful students. All right. Thanks for the biscuit thing, Deb. I'll see you next week or the week after or something. But I'll do that one for you on Wednesday. I'll put it up on Wednesday. Right. Do you want to say goodnight to these lovely, wonderful people?
Come round the back.
Yeah, come on. There she is. No show without punch. All right. I'll see you. We'll all see you next time. All right. Until then, you take care of yourselves. Get playing, and remember, keep all those questions coming in. You know, because it's easier than you think. All right, playing easier than you think. Right, Lynn, how do I turn it off?
Oh. So where it says stop streaming.
Where's it say that? I can't even
To the
see it.
right.
I can't even see it.
To the right.
Where?
There.
Here.
Yeah.
Right. And when I press that, will it stop?
No, because you need to do the other one, but it will stop.
All right. Well, listen. If it doesn't stop and you see me fumbling around, folks, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll see you on the 4th of July.
Yay.
Big day in America, 4th of July. Try and join us if you can.